What's up everybody, it's Jasmine and this is not a lunchtime reaction video, but it is a reaction to one of Amberlynn Reid's latest videos. I did another video on this, I'm not sure when it's coming out, but anyway, I was reading through the comments on Amberlynn Reid's emergency room update video and I saw this comment about that umbilical dermatitis is a common condition with infection common in adults. It is usually associated with inadequate hygiene and deepening of umbilical cord caused by obesity. And then there's some comments where people talk about their own experience with this and just things like hygiene and things like that. And I thought that this was an interesting comment because it made me think about Amberlynn Reid's channel and about things like how life is for Amberlynn Reid, because I feel like a lot of the time in Amberlynn Reid's videos the camera is very on her face and not a lot on the body, and there isn't necessarily any problem with that. But I was thinking about, in terms of her channel, how it's not really a weight loss channel, but I was thinking about how she could use her channel in a way to show people how bad like how difficult it is to be overweight. Because a lot of the time when I'm watching her channel and I'm watching these videos and doing my reactions, I forget about like what her body looks like I forget about how big it is. So then when I see her standing up and walking around, then I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it really hits me then. And I mean, I don't necessarily think that she's designed the channel that way or anything, but I think that one thing that could be really powerful as, you know, motivating other people and educating people who are overweight would be for her to show how life is, you know, like what if she turned her videos into the life of an obese person, where she showed us her washing routine, like how difficult it is, you know, how important it is to wash underneath the skin folds and things like that, and showing us how difficult it is for her to stand. Because when she makes her videos currently, she tries to put a happy spin on everything. So when she talks about making dinner and she's sitting down and cutting up food, she talks about the sitting down as something that she likes to do as opposed to something that she has to do. And when she's walking to the car and she has to sit down on the front porch, she says, oh, I just like to sit here and enjoy the sun for a minute before I go to the car. And a lot of people say in the comments that that's just an excuse. Now, is it an excuse? We don't know, but one can speculate that it is an excuse, and really she has to sit a lot because of the weight of her body. And I think that that could be very true, because when I'm watching, you know, my 600-pound life and things, they have trouble staying on their feet for long. And when I see Amberlynn Reid walking and I see the picture of her whole body, I can imagine how difficult it would be for her to stand up and to walk and things like that. And I think that what would be really powerful is not this channel where she's trying to lose weight and always failing and having these emergency room visits, but a channel where we see how difficult it is to be super morbidly obese. And, you know, she could, you know, imagine a channel where we watch her suffering through trying to stand and her having to sit down and saying to the camera, like, I feel so exhausted, I've only been standing for a couple of minutes and I'm just so exhausted. Imagine how impactful that would be. Like, that would make you really sit back and think about how difficult it is, you know. And it's that type of honesty that can really have an impact on people. Because if I'm watching Amberlynn Reid's channel, I would, you start to think, oh, maybe that life isn't so bad. Like you start to think maybe it is worth the YouTube money. And obviously, because I have, watched these other shows where they show how difficult it is, then I know that no amount of money is worth that, but other people who watch her videos, they might really think like, oh, she's making good money, like this, that lifestyle isn't so bad, but really I think that the reality is that it's awful, and she's making a living off of this and not really helping other people because she's putting a happy spin on everything. And even when she goes to the hospital and things like that, she talks about how it's unfortunate, like there's nothing that she can do about it. She talks about this skin infection as, something that just sort of happened and is not a product of the weight gain. And it could be something completely separate. But what I said in my other video was that being a healthy weight is the best thing for you. And it might not necessarily be dangerous to be a little bit underweight and a little bit overweight, but by getting yourself as close as you can to healthier weight, you're reducing the risk of becoming sick, from being overweight or underweight. So even if you're still outside the recommended area, the closer you get, the better you're going to be, on either side of it. So when she's talking about these things, and she's talking about them as though they're completely not related, but the reality is that that's not going to help people. Like that's spreading denial, like if she said, oh man, I'm going to hospital and I just think that this is another result of my weight, and I hate that this is part of my life, and I hate that I've done this to myself. That would have a lot greater effect than somebody who says, oh, it really sucks that I have this skin infection, but there's nothing that I can do about it. If somebody told you, I could have done something about this, and it hurts me so much that I did this to myself, that would really wow, right in the heart. Like that would move you, I think anyway. I mean, yeah. So I think that Amberlynn Reid should consider changing her channel to not pretending to be a weight loss channel, but being an information channel about the realities of being overweight, because at the moment she's neither of those things. Like she's neither showing reality and she's not losing weight either, so it's neither one of those things. But I think if she went towards the more factual side, and maybe she can't help herself, but I think that she could help other people by showing that, and I think that they could leave a legacy, because I think about when Amberlynn Reid's gone, what is she going to leave behind? And at the moment she's going to leave behind a lot of videos that talk about change and talk about her being proud of herself and getting back on track and things like that. And it's all very positive. And I think that the way it's going is that it would be very positive until the day that she dies. But if she changed that and she was very raw and honest and just showed things without these rose-colored glasses, even if she didn't make it, or I mean, let's say that she did get healthy and her legacy was this YouTube channel, that type of honesty, I think it would affect people. And if she didn't make any changes and she did die being super morbidly obese, I think that would really people would look at that and they would see the suffering and they'd see the pain, and they'd hear somebody saying, I feel miserable and I'm not happy and I can't stand, I have to sit, I can't walk to the car, from the house to the car without taking a break in between. And I think that would have more of an impact. So that's something that I've been thinking about, and yeah, I want to know what you guys think. There's a certain point in your life where you can't necessarily change things, but you can think about what type of legacy you can leave, and maybe that's something that she should think about, not thinking about happy, fun times that'll make her feel happier, but thinking about maybe, being a bit more raw, a bit more real, something that would really change people's lives. Yeah, anyway, that's what I've been thinking about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next time. Hey door.